Hello, Deb. How are you?
Hi, Jackie. I am absolutely great.
Thank you again for being here and interviewing you and just sharing with some people what your results have been with some of the programs that you've done with me.
I'm really happy to do that, and I truly believe it will help a lot of people.
Thank you. So, first, let's talk a little bit about you. And what was your pain situation before you started working with me?
I was in a lot of pain. I came to you particularly because I had bursitis in my hips that I could not get rid of. I had had cortisone shots probably 3 or 4 times. They'd work for a short term, go away. So I had pain radiating down from my back. Um, and it, I just wasn't getting anywhere with it.
Yeah. So, what did it stop you from doing?
Sleeping was the absolute worst. I would just constantly have to turn over and turn over because I would be in pain and I'd have really like burning pain right at the hip point. Um, and then lots of times that pain radiating, I think, down from my back also. Also, it did limit me in, say, physical activities such as walking and hiking, which my husband and I like to do a lot. And it just slowed me down. And I'd also get stiffness. I'd get terrible stiffness when we would travel in the car. I'd get out of the car and feel like I was 100 years old walking, until things loosened up. And I'm not 100 years old.
Far from it, right? How long did you have that pain?
I think I had that particular pain for a couple of years. The back pain for many years, but the bursitis and the hip pain was probably just a couple.
Mm. How did you feel emotionally about all that, living with all that pain?
I was very frustrated. I was probably a little angry, actually, when I think about it right at the moment. I was both of those things, angry and frustrated that I couldn't do anything about it, didn't know what was causing it, and not a doctor out there had an answer as to how to fix it other than cortisone shots.
Yeah, yeah. You were in a lot of pain when we first started.
I was in a lot of pain and super frustrated and unhappy about it all, and it really was affecting my life.
Yeah. And I'm guessing when you first started working with me, you were a little skeptical about this work.
Maybe a little. It was new to me, although I had actually read in the past about some of this. I had a little bit of familiarity, but I hadn't really done anything exactly like this before. And so I was hopeful that it would work, and I was willing to try anything to get out of this pain and to be able to move on.
Yeah. What were some of the reasons that would have stopped you from doing this work?
Ah, well, probably one of the first ones is expense. Um, but, we made that work within reason. It was within reason for me to be able to do all the work that I did with you and to help me get out of the pain. And actually, it was worth every penny.
Yeah.
um, and I guess I'm not thinking about anything else in particular right now that would have stopped me because I actually was pretty open.
Yeah. Yeah. You were open. You were ready. And
Yes, I
it's
absolutely.
expensive, right? And it's expensive to be sick and it's expensive to get healthy.
It is. I do think long term, it's much more expensive to be sick
Yeah.
and in pain than it is actually to get healthy, because once you get healthy, the expense goes away. And if you stay sick and in pain, your cost and your expense is going to continue year after year after year. And traditional medicine will just send you down the road of pain meds, muscle relaxers, etc. And you'll just continue, and you'll feel worse, and you'll feel worse, and you'll feel worse.
Yeah. It's like the downward spiral. There's no way out.
It is a downward spiral. I have been down that road, and I will not ever go down it again.
Yeah. Yeah. How did you know things were beginning to change for the better?
I think the pain really just started to lessen. I think I started to sleep a little bit better. I think there was less stiffness, and I could move better. I guess that's really it. It just started to be less and less.
Yeah. So soon after we started, you notice for some people there's dramatic changes, like they end up with days with no pain, which is shocking for them. And for other people, it's a gradual where the pain starts to lessen day after day, and then you forget how much pain you're in.
Yes, I suppose at some point that did actually happen. And I know there was a point along the way too where, yes, you forget that you had that much pain. So now the pain levels, maybe a 2 or a 3, and you forget that you started out around a 7 or an 8, which to me is a lot of pain.
Yeah.
You actually forget how much pain you're in. So a little bit of pain or a little twinge is like, oh, what is that?
Yeah. Yeah, you forget how much that pain was ruling your life. You weren't able to do much, you weren't able to vacation. Life was kind of miserable.
Yes, that's exactly it. Miserable is the exact word, miserable.
Yeah, yeah. Because you had had pain for a long time before you came to me.
Yes.
And some of that had cleared up, but there was still some pain in your body that was still showing up for you.
Yes, some of it had cleared up. A lot of it had not. And then the bursitis was a fairly new thing in comparison for the 10, 12 years that I had been in back pain and neck pain.
Yeah.
Actually. So, and we did continue to, actually, I rarely have neck pain now, and the back pain also. And I really kind of know how to get rid of those pains at this point in time.
Yeah, yeah, that's the great part of it. It's
It
awesome.
certainly is.
So give us an update on how your life is for you now.
Wow. My life really has changed so much since we started working. My husband and I are in such a good place in our lives. I am way more active than when you and I started working. We do walk, we hike. I don't have to, I don't know, kind of worry about having to sit down all the time if we go somewhere, after 20 minutes or whatever from pain. And I really just am looking forward to all of the new things that we're going to be able to do at this point in our lives, and be physically active, and just really happy and looking forward to things.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a concern because you guys are close to retirement, which we're all looking forward to retirement, and you wanted to be able to enjoy it and travel and do all the things that you've worked so hard to get here and do. So
Yes.
congratulations.
Yes, exactly. And we really are there. We're in a good place. Actually, we're getting, planning to head to New Zealand for 6 weeks this winter to visit our, son, his wife, and our 3 grandchildren. And we've never gone for 6 weeks. We can do actually the things that we want to now.
Yeah.
And I really don't have any financial concerns. I just know we're in a good place. And I also know I can be physically active and, mostly keep up with those, that younger generation, because they're very active down there.
Yeah. Yeah, where before there was a lot of worry and planning about going on a trip like that, if you would be able to afford it, if you would be able to go, how your pain level would be. And now, is any of that there?
No, actually, no. I'm not concerned about affording it. My pain levels are actually very good, and they're actually very good. I really can. I know that I can do the things that I want to do when we get there,
Hmm.
and I can keep active here before we go. Just staying happy and active, and you might not have grandchildren yet, but let me tell you, they keep you moving.
They do. They, yeah. So you've been coming to me for a long time, and some of the work that we do is over the phone, and we're
Yes.
not even in the same room. I'm not touching you. So why do you think these tools and techniques work to help you get out of pain?
Okay, the first place, as I'm working with you, and I started working with you, I'm also learning how to deal with some of these issues on my own. The other thing, we worked through a lot of very, very old emotions. A lot of them were quite deep rooted. And I actually preferred doing that by myself in my own home, um, because you and I were on the phone, but I still had some privacy with that. And I actually appreciated that. Um, and these are techniques that just really, truly work.
Yeah. Yeah, they really clear out all that emotional pain and trauma. And it is nice being home, so you don't have to, because some of the things we're dealing with are deep and they bring up a lot of emotion. So it is nice not to have to see anybody or worry about how you look. And
Yes, that. I also didn't have to drive. I didn't have to leave
yes,
and drive. And then when we were done, um, you're right. I didn't have to worry about how I looked or anything. It actually was the I guess the first time I wasn't sure about that, but once we went through the first session, I realized that I appreciated being home a lot.
yeah, yeah, that's a good point. What would you say to somebody else who is in pain and is skeptical about trying something like this?
I would really recommend that if they have tried everything else, and if traditional medicine is failing them, it actually was failing me, because I had done everything going down that road. Um, I would just recommend to them to be open a bit and just trust that something can work, and kind of go with it. Probably trust their own instincts. Probably are, if they've connected with you, I'm guessing that their own instincts are sending them there, and they might just want to trust that and follow through, because it'll be worth it. Um, you're a rock star in what you do. You surprise me even now when we get together with new techniques, and I'm actually amazed at some of the new things that we've done. And what have I seen? We've gotten together maybe once in 6 months.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because there's kind of, some maintenance. It's not to say we'll never have pain. Um, so going forward, once you get out of pain and learn the tools, then it's just maintenance, keeping up with everything and staying
Yeah.
on track.
Yes, and I actually appreciate that. Because it really does help. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you, and I am so happy for all the results and all the where your life is right now. It's so exciting to see you and see all the traveling you're doing, and I'm so happy for
Thank you. We're pretty excited on this end, let me tell you.
you. Yeah, you so deserve it. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So thank you again, Deb, and you have a great day.
Okay, thank you. You too, Jackie. Bye-bye now.
Bye.